Aggelos 2 is a retro Metroidvania where you play as an angel that gets the ability to switch between angel and demon form to overcome all kinds of obstacles and enemies. I gotta be honest, I haven't played the first game, so I can't really compare them. All I know is there's a larger adventure with upgraded visuals and with a new mechanic of switching forms and having two interconnected worlds or realms of light and darkness. And yes, there are some references to the first game, but the story is so easy to follow in this one, so it's not that big of a deal if you haven't played the predecessor. So yeah, the biggest attraction of this game is this new mechanic and the emphasis on exploration. The angel form, your default form, is more focused on a defensive style, like the ability to heal and having more range with your basic attack. Your demon form, on the other hand, is more aggressive and is focused on speed and raw damage. Switching between these two forms can be useful during combat, but sometimes a switch is needed for exploration or to bypass certain hazards as well. This new mechanic is pretty fun, and switching between forms is done with a single button press. But I can't lie, I used the angel form almost the whole time during my playthrough, and only switched to the demon form if I had no other choice. The angel form just fits my playstyle better, and I'd rather be able to heal myself during a tense moment than to boost my movement and attack speed for a short time. I sometimes use the demon form quickly to dodge certain attacks, or to use a potion to get more speed during a boss fight. But this temporary buff transfers over to your angel form as well, so most of the time I just switch back to my angel form again. Like I said, I think it's a fun mechanic, but I feel like it could have been implemented a bit better. Like giving you actual different abilities when you switch forms, or introducing boss fights that can only be harmed by your demon form, for example. It's just a shame that I almost never felt the need to switch between forms. I think it's a clever concept, and I always enjoyed when games have like a similar mechanic. The core gameplay is really fun though. The abilities you gain along the way, like flight, a grappling hook and a dash, give you that satisfying Metroidvania feeling of becoming more powerful each step, and make you want to explore every nook and cranny. Exploring this world is going to take a lot of time though. There are a lot of optional collectibles for you to find, and some of them, like these stars, aren't really explained what their purpose are, and I collected almost everything. Other than these stars, there are also 100 eggs hidden all over the map, and collecting a certain amount will reward you with an upgrade or some money each time. And I'm pretty sure it will reward you with unlimited flight if you will find all 100 of them, but I only found 99 eggs, and I don't know where I can find the last one. There are only 20 markers you can use, and thankfully you can erase them and use them for something different, but good luck with memorizing where you couldn't reach an egg yet, or what ability is needed to explore a new path with this small amount of markers. Only a few things are automatically marked on your map, like save points and shops, but collectibles and such are your own responsibility. I wouldn't mind it if there would be some way of giving you a power-up or an NPC that would reveal the missed collectibles or secrets on your map when you reach the end of the game, but no such luck. There is this NPC that does mark certain items on your map that are needed to unlock both the bad and the good ending, but that's it. And it would be fine honestly if it was just one map, but this game has two overlapping maps, namely a map of the light and the dark realm, so it becomes even more of a nuisance to retrace your every move. It's a shame, because I would love to complete this game 100%, but I can't be bothered to visit each area again to try to find these few items I've missed. Both worlds are very different from each other though. The dark world definitely has more of a hellish vibe and some very powerful enemies for you to beat. Eventually both worlds aren't that challenging anymore when you are reaching the end of the game, but it was nice to see that both of them had their own atmosphere and feel. I did start to feel a bit of fatigue, like around the 75% mark of the game though. Many areas were just halls or rooms full of enemies without any creative level design, and I started to lose my interest. I feel like this game starts out really strong, but eventually it drags on for a bit too long with all these side quests that either don't really go anywhere or reward you with another egg that doesn't do anything until you have collected a certain amount of them. And this really hurts the flow of the game. And sure, you can finish the game a lot quicker and then you get the bad ending. But who wants to do that? I certainly don't. I just wish either both worlds were a bit smaller in size, or both worlds had a lot of areas with like an interesting gimmick to make them more memorable. One area in the light world had this tedious gimmick where you had to hit certain switches to make certain colored blocks appear or disappear so you could progress. But at least I remember that area despite the frustration I had with it. So many areas, especially in the dark world, were really bland and weren't that interesting to traverse through, and I think this is a real shame. Thankfully, your new abilities make traversal a lot quicker, and at one point you unlock fast travel for every save point. So I appreciate the effort and the vision, but the execution could have been better in my opinion. The boss fights have a nice visual design, but none of them really gave me a challenge. I died more to default enemies or hazards than I died to them. I liked how all of them had a nice array of attacks, both light and dark, and how you could absorb these projectiles if you were using the right form. But like I said before, it's not mandatory to switch between forms if you can tank the damage or are good at dodging. Eventually I got so powerful that I just waited for the right moment to spam my special attack, and this made each boss go down in like 2 cycles. All I did was spamming my default attacks, get hit occasionally, wait for full mana and go berserk when the boss was vulnerable. I liked each fight, but none of them had like a specific gimmick that would make them more memorable or a bit more challenging, other than having a different fighting arena or some moving platforms. So in general, I enjoyed my time with Aggelos 2, but it definitely has some flaws. The angel demon form, the dual world system and the overall retro presentation are definitely what makes this game stand out. But I feel like it bit off a bit more than it could chew, and this makes the game lose its flow after like a few hours. Many areas are really bland and don't offer that much of a challenge, and the exploration is very extensive, but the limited markers or beacons really harm the overall enjoyment of trying to complete the game 100%. This game has a lot of clever or fun ideas, but the execution isn't always the best. But like I said, I still enjoyed my time overall, so I would recommend to give this game a try if you love this genre and don't mind a giant map or maps to explore. I love how exploring rewards you with very useful items or upgrades for your gear, and how flight and movement gets better and better along the way. You almost become like an unstoppable force at the end, and it's really satisfying to see this transformation over time. I managed to unlock the good ending in a bit less than 10 hours, which gave me an achievement. But almost 100% completing this game took me like 12 hours, so you can definitely spend a lot of time in this game. Did I enjoy every single second of it? No, I sadly didn't. I feel like it started out really strong and it gave me high expectations, but eventually it started to drag on for a bit too long in my opinion. I'm still really thankful that I had the pleasure to play this game before release. And while it didn't manage to blow me away, I still easily recommend it if it looks to be right up your alley and you don't mind the flaws I've just mentioned. I'm not sure if I will ever give the first Aggelos a try, maybe I will watch a playthrough of it, but I'm for sure excited if they would announce a third sequel, because there is potential without a doubt. So be ready to dive into a new adventure that lets you unlock a darker side of yourself, so you can become the hero that puts an end to the war between light and darkness once more.